So what are the mass percents of each particular element inside of cesium sulfate? Well, you've come to the right place. The first thing is we're going to find the total mass, and then we can find those percentages easy peasy. Watch how simple it is with the following table. Bam! So the first thing I'm going to do is write down the elements I see in the compound. So I have cesium atom, Cs, I have sulfur, S, and I have oxygen, O. Step after that is then to write down the number of atoms. That's where the subscripts come into play. At the bottom of cesium, there's 2. That means there are 2 atoms of cesium. At the bottom of sulfur, there is an invisible 1 there. That means that there's 1 sulfur atom. And oxygen is then 4. We're going to take those number of atoms now and multiply it by the mass of each particular element. Where are those found? Periodic table, my friend. Let's take a look. So here, cesium is 132.91, oxygen is 16, sulfur is going to be 32.07. These masses can either be in grams per mole if you're finding molar mass, or atomic mass units if you're finding molecular mass. So let's write them down. So cesium 132.91, sulfur is going to be 32, that doesn't even look like a 3, 32.07, and then oxygen is going to be 16. Then we're simply going to find the total mass of each particular element here by simply multiplying these numbers on a cross. So the total mass of cesium here is going to be 265.82. The total mass of sulfur is just going to be 32.07. And then oxygen here is going to be 64. And then to find the total mass of the entire compound, all we literally simply have to do is just add up this particular column. That's it. Easy peasy. So the total mass here is going to be 361.89. And there you have it. That's now the total mass. It doesn't matter if it's in grams per mole or AMU. Units are kind of irrelevant here. What's important is the magnitude. So now that we found that total mass, we can simply find those mass percents of each. I'm going to add a column. Watch how quick this is. Bam. So to find that mass percent of, let's say, cesium, we're going to take the total mass of that cesium and divide it by then the total mass of the compound. Hence why we had to calculate the mass of the compound first. So we're going to take 265.82, and then we're going to simply divide it then by 361.89. And then multiply it by 100. That's a simple percent calculation, part over whole times 100. And when we do that, we arrive at a percentage of roughly 73.45%. All right? And that takes care of then the percent mass of cesium, or percent composition of cesium in cesium sulfate. Next is sulfur. Take the total mass of that sulfur, which is 32.07. Simply then divide it now by the total mass of the compound, 361.89. Multiply that by 100, and you're going to get a mass percent here of about 8, make that a little neater, 8.86, all right, 8.86%. I'm just rounding to 2 decimal places. Honestly, sig figs here, who cares? 361, right, times 100. I'm going to make a shirt that says that. The percentage here is going to be 17.68 now, right, 17.68%. And there we go. Now, just to check yourself, you can add these percentages up, and it should be equal to 100% roughly. Yeah, I mean, it might not come out exactly if you rounded a little bit, but if you added up the exact percents, we should be arriving basically at that answer. All right. So, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you can. It helps us out tremendously. It really, really does. It allows us to produce more content. We already have thousands of videos out there, and we want to get to tens of thousands for you. So definitely would help us along the way. And check out some more of our stuff. We got a whole bunch of subjects covered. Take care.